Child runs by me. I just step out my foot.
Oh, she's a witch.
I've been called worse.
Sarah Osborne rarely attended church meetings. She was accused of witchcraft because the Puritans believed that Osborne had her own self-interest in mind following her self-interest in mind following her remarriage to an indentured servant.
So she got remarried?
Indentured servant. Yeah, she got remarried.
Oh, that was like hell no.
Yeah, and not only that, but it was to her servant.
Yeah.
So how
people
many
immediately hated her ass.
people got bewitched by this whole thing?
It just said multiple people. It didn't really say how many, but it was probably at least
more than 2.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it started with a 2, and I think they also mentioned like 4 other names.
Okay.
So, and there's probably even more people being afflicted by it.
In their minds, there's kind of a case being made against the girls so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So right now, these 3 people that they have a name for right now, they're accusing them of all this crap that's going on. Then,
so it's building up. The tension's rising.
Yeah. And then you got Tituba, who is the slave, a South American India slave, by the way of West Indies. Likely became a target because of her ethnic difference. Of course. Yeah, it's always about...
She's different, so she's weird.
Yeah, she's different. She's
witchcraft.
She's weird.
Well, slaves are an easy target, so yeah.
She was accused of attracting girls like Abigail Williams and Betty Pears with stories of enchantment from Malice Maleficarum.
So is that somebody like in India? One of their
This is a book.
Okay,
and the book itself has a translation to it. Let me go back to that.
So it's like, hey, I got some really cool stories for you.
So, usually translated as Hammer of Witches. So it's a witch book. It's a, I guess, a Wicca book.
It could still be it could still be just. It could still be just stories. You know, it's like we got stories. You know, Hansel and Gretel and all that kind of stuff.
Like, you know, that's a good possibility.
And it doesn't mean that it's a book of witchcraft.
These tales about sexual encounters with demons, swaying the men's mind of men's, and fortune telling were said.
Fortune telling.
Yeah.
So it sounds like somehow maybe she got into that book because that's the only book she's got. So it's kind of like, well, you know, I'm bored. I'm going to read, you know, and then find these things fascinating. It's like, all right, now to try to make friends.
Yeah.
That's all I know. So come here.
Well, it's like, you know, the girls came
they're having sex, but one of them's a demon, but, you know, get past that, you know.
The girls go
honestly, most girls always go through a witch phase at some point in their life. Like, I don't care how Christian anything you are or whatever. At some point, all girls go through their witch phase. And it's like, I want to cast a spell on this bitch. Yeah. Like, we need to go do this. Or I want to read this. I want to get into, you know, at least knowing a little bit more about me. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
I'm going to make a spell on him. Make sure
that's about normally how it starts.
Goes down on me real good.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
What, a guy going down on a girl? What's wrong with that?
You
don't have to picture me.
I was going to say, that's what happened. I pictured you. I was like, no.
You don't have to picture me. You just picture somebody else. Picture Brad Pitt. There you go.
Oh, okay. That I can do.
Okay.
I can do that.
Okay. Anyway.
Even I can do that.
Oh, you sick bitch. All right. So this obviously had made her a really good target. To accuse with it.
It's okay if I just call you BP.
Oh, BP, you're perfect.
Now I'm just thinking of the oil company. Damn it.
Okay, back to the Salem witch trial.
No.
All right, so the 3 accused witches before the magistrate of Jonathan Corwin and John Harthram are questioned, even as their accusers appeared in the courtroom in a grand display of spasms, contortions,
that's the part
screaming,
that I heard about.
wailing.
That's the part that I heard about. So there's everybody there at the courthouse, and these girls, they can't sit still, and they're just doing all these freaky things. Like that's what made me think. Since I heard that described, that maybe they're going through some sort of spasms. It's like
maybe they just happen to get epilepsy. At that time. It's like a really bad one too. Really
or maybe something caused it, because if those that bread had stuff in it, what's to say that they didn't get some other kind of food that had something in it that's kind of causing them an illness?
Yeah. they could possibly already have an illness, and that fungus it made it worse. It exacerbated the problem.
Just for editing purposes, I'm going to move my mic so you can hear some shit. So you can mute me. Okay, and I'm done.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, who knows?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is like,
who knows?
You know, a lot of people get if you see the flashing lights during a video game, you don't know that you are prone to epilepsy, but it's warning you because some people just all of a sudden go into an epileptic shock. So
they just all of a sudden wake up on the ground like, what the fuck just happened?
Maybe staring at a candle can do it. You know, I don't know, just something flickering and stuff like that. But maybe food. You know, something weird that they did because they didn't have refrigeration. Things got spoiled.
Yeah. So when they were questioned, these three women, two of them declared they're innocent throughout the entire thing. They said not guilty, except for the slave, Tituba. She confessed, likely seeking to save herself from certain conviction by acting as an informer. She claimed there were other witches acting alongside her in service of the devil against the Puritans. So, in order for her to try to save her life, she threw a bunch of other people under the bus.
And that makes sense.
Yeah.
If you know you're going to be hung, burned, you don't know how you're going to die. It's like, I want to save my own life.
Yeah, but you're dooming others for that process. And that's...
But she's young. So I mean...
Well, I don't know how old...
No, Tituba was older.
Oh, okay.
She was the slave.
She wasn't the kid?
Yeah, no. She was a slave.
But I was going to think the kids don't know any better. It's like,
they don't know any better.
You guys are grown-ups. You're not going to just kill people for no reason, right?
I hope. Well, actually, during this time, I don't know. This is the 1600s.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
You hit your period back then, you were considered a woman, so they weren't that far off.
Actually, yeah.
You could get married.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah. You're 12 years old, but you're on your period? Yeah, that makes you a woman.
Yeah.
That makes you a woman.
Time to start burying my children.
Make me a sandwich.
Make me a sandwich.
Why are you wearing shoes in my kitchen?
Why are you wearing clothes?
Yeah, that's the more important part.
So that's how this actually happened. This is how this went downhill so fast. Because those three people that Tituba claimed were witches, one or two of them did the same thing.
Okay.
They tried to say, okay, yes, I'm a witch, and these other people are witches too, so don't kill me. And so it just started gathering.
It was like a pyramid effect, like just starts a tip and just
so
expands
far
out.
I only heard about the two girls that are being...
So you got the two girls that were bewitched, and they had these problems. And then they said that these three women were witches, and they're the ones that bewitched them.
Okay,
so those are the three that are on
So
trial.
the ones that got bewitched, are they in trouble too?
No.
Okay.
Because they're seen as victims.
Okay.
So
far we know that three people are going to die. So how come there's more?
Not so much dying. Tituba did not die.
Yeah, Tituba was the only one out of... as far as like
because
the beginning,
she threw everybody under the bus, they figured she's innocent. Okay.
Yeah, well,
so let's go ahead and let's get this fact out. So 19 people died from this. More actually. There was 24, 25, I think. So 19 people were actually hung and killed.
And then
okay, let's get to that. Why?
They were the...
Because it was a trial. They went to trial, and they were found convicted of being witches, and they hung them.
Well, I get that, William.
Okay.
But what I don't get is how did all these other people get thrown under the bus in such a way that they are now witches?
Like I just said, Tituba claimed three other people were witches.
So then those three people.
So one person out of that claimed other people.
Witch.
It's like what did I say earlier? Chain letter. You send a chain letter out. Hey, you're gonna have bad luck. So send this out to 10 other people.
Oh, holy fuck!
You know, it's a chain letter.
What the hell's wrong with this court system? It's like no.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we get to that one.
Okay,
it's fun
because it doesn't.
Yeah,
it's not. There's no logic in any of this.
No,
it's like there's no.
No, there was no logic in any of this.
What do you need in here is somebody with some
show.
brains who's actually who's going to be the somebody to stand up for anybody.
Yeah.